So, Mandalorian Season 4, this time it's a movie, is out. And let me just say,
you are wrong! All of you are wrong!
Now, I loved The Mandalorian show early on, but my relationship with Star Wars over the last few years has been complicated. Maybe I'll make a video about the older movies someday. Let me know if you guys want to see that. But for now, I'd say that Mandalorian Season 1 is pretty much perfect. I have nothing negative to say about it. It's a fun standalone adventure of a badass bounty hunter and his cute little sidekick for the moms out there. It's a fun western romp through space, and most importantly, it's a standalone thing. You can watch this without knowing anything else about Star Wars and still be completely invested. Also, Ludwig Göransson is the GOAT composer, 10 out of 10. Now, I love Season 2, but I also think it was when Dave Filoni got a little too deep in the sauce. This is still a great season, but the show stopped being as much of a standalone story. The show started throwing in a bunch of legacy characters like Boba Fett and Ahsoka and Bo-Katan and this fugly ass CGI Luke Skywalker. And I think it started to erase the reason the show worked so well in Season 1. This is still a really good season, and I think the legacy characters are used really well in the story, except you, get this shit off my screen. But I wish the show was able to stand a little bit more on its own merits like in Season 1. 8 out of 10? 9? We'll go 8.5, that sounds pretty good to me. I did not watch Season 3. I heard it was bad, so I didn't watch it. I was already kinda getting numb to Star Wars by this point. I thought Kenobi was mid as hell. Ahsoka was beyond boring. And Book of Boba Fett was one of the worst things I've ever watched. The best episodes of the Book of Boba Fett were the ones with Mando instead of Boba anyway. Did you guys even want to make a Boba Fett show? This is just Mandalorian Season 2.5, except now he has a sword. And yeah, that sword is cool as hell, but the rest of the show is just awful.
Like a panther. Yes?
This 1, 2, 3 combo of these 3 mediocre to shit shows really burnt me out on Star Wars, so I got off the ride for a bit. I skipped Mando Season 3, I skipped The Acolyte, I skipped Visions, Bad Batch, Skeleton Crew. I think everyone skipped Skeleton Crew. Did anyone even see this? I saw no one talking about it. I even skipped Andor, even though I know that show is absolutely incredible because I'm just so fatigued on Star Wars right now. And I just don't want to watch it in that headspace. I'll watch it eventually, I'm sure about that. So you can stop writing that angry comment I see you writing. Kenobi 6, Ahsoka 4, Boba 3. Hey, real quick, I just wanted to quickly say thanks for the support on the boys video. It really popped off. But what's this? Most of the people who watched it weren't even subscribed. You should do that. So if you enjoyed the review, consider subscribing to hear whatever I yap about next. So, I broke my Star Wars sobriety to go see this new movie. And like I said, I disagree with the critic consensus with this one. The funny part is, I think most of what people are criticizing this movie for is actually pretty on point. So I might as well get my negatives out of the way. Also, there's not actually much footage available. The movie just came out. I'm doing my best here, guys. So I've got some Battlefront gameplay I recorded for you guys. Now, the biggest criticism I've seen of this movie is how it looks. And yeah, this movie is pretty hideous. Most of these scenes are just a mix of brown and dark brown, and if you're lucky, light brown. This movie is not the prettiest girl at prom, I'll tell you that much. I also noticed how bad a lot of the green screen was at certain points. So many background shots are blurry and look almost unfinished. And not in like a shallow depth of field kind of way, it just looked kind of like shit. The CGI is alright for the most part. There's a few shots where I can really notice it, but it's fine enough for what it is. I do appreciate this series' commitment to practical effects. Grogu being a physical puppet instead of a CGI blob makes him feel much more real than something like Yoda in the prequels. It's much easier to feel a connection with something that you can actually tell is real and not a realistic cartoon. Look at him. He's so cute. Yeah, I'm a grown-ass man, but I still had a smile on my face for Grogu's shenanigans. What can I say? I'm not made of stone. This movie is much more child-focused than past Star Wars is, but it's fine. It works for what the movie is going for. Grogu gets up to a lot of cutesy shit designed for kids. There's slapstick and a lot more kiddie humor, but it's not overbearing enough to get on my nerves. As for plot, I really have nothing to say, because there almost isn't one. It's already been confirmed that this movie was supposed to be Season 4 of the show, but it got shifted into a movie, and you can very much tell. There's like 4 different points that felt like they could have been the end of the movie, and then it just keeps going. It makes the pacing feel off, like a mini Season 4 that was stitched into one long super episode. They have Jeremy Allen White playing the farting baby from the Clone Wars movie. That was kind of weird. He's buff now. And it's not like his performance is anything special. He's just kind of playing himself with a deeper voice. Pedro Pascal is also kind of phoning it in here. There was this one line near the end of the movie where he says something like, "Get out of here," while getting shot at, but he said it in the most lifeless and uninterested way that I couldn't help but laugh at it. Now, I know I said I'm going against the general consensus, and then I immediately spent like 2 minutes shitting on this movie, but I stand by what I said. I think people are right about what they say, but they're looking at this movie through the wrong lens. This movie is kinda shit. Full stop. But I kinda see this movie in the way I see a movie like John Wick. Like, yeah, the plot is basically non-existent, and the characters don't really have any depth, but it's not really focused on that either. I think the action in this movie works pretty well. It's actually dynamic, some solid camera movements, and wonders that really make you feel the weight behind Mando's attacks. I thought this was a pretty solid popcorn action flick with some cutesy moments for the kids. This movie is not trying to be absolute cinema, it just has the absolute cinema guy in it. You guys got it all wrong. The movie is at its worst when it's trying to be an actual movie. Scenes focused on plot kind of had me falling asleep at points. They just kind of drag, and the story they're trying to tell is not deep enough for these scenes to drag on as long as they do. There's this one part in the last third of the movie where Grogu is off on his own, and he can't talk. Look at him. He's a stupid baby. But it led to this really nice extended sequence that was basically a silent film of him trying to figure out what to do without Mando there to guide him. And I thought it was a really good scene. It was shot really well, it's one of the few parts of the movie that was actually trying to look good. They even threw in a new color instead of brown. Green. And it was one of the few moments of the movie that was able to show, don't tell, and give us some wordless character development, which was a nice change of pace. And then the rest of the movie is just
Bang, 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 bang. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Bullet, bullet, gun. Zap, 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 pow, zap, pow.
The one thing I can say was unequivocally perfect in this movie was the score. I made an ad-lib line about it earlier, but Ludwig Göransson really is the GOAT. The music is easily the best part of the movie, full stop. Just listen to this absolute jam. Just kidding, are you insane? Disney would literally hang me by the nuts if I played their music on here. I promise it's good though. Overall, I was definitely being hyperbolic when I said critics were wrong. I think they're just treating this movie like something it's not. I agree with most of the criticisms people have of this movie, but I still kinda liked it. It ain't good, but I had popcorn and a Coca-Cola and I had fun with it. Grogu made me laugh. The action was solid, and that's really all I'm expecting out of a Star Wars movie. Yeah, I'd prefer if the movie had some more substance to it, but given some of the stuff we've seen out of this franchise, I'll take what I can get.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
If I was being objective, this movie would probably get like a 5 out of 10, but I'm more inclined to give this movie like a cool looking action figure.
That's what the mask is. That's what the point of the mask is.